Hey, what's going on? My name's Josh. I'm a strength and conditioning and powerlifting coach and have been for the last almost 8 years now. And I run Team JDSC. And the point of this long form content is to give you guys some insight around coaching and athlete mindset for improving people's strength and getting them through those rough patches. So sit back, grab a coffee, grab some food, and enjoy. So yeah, we'll just rock into some introductions. So start with you, Steve.
Introduction. I'm Steve. Obviously, your coach. Coach quite a few people as well. I think with the route that we're going with this conversation, I think it's worth noting. Like, I've had a lot of injuries myself, which is one of, albeit detrimental to my own performance at times, and the way that I've sort of my trajectory of things has been over time. Provides me with a lot of insight when issues like this arise. So outside of introductions, I think that's sort of where this will end up going at some point. But I think it's worth noting that early on, it's coming from lived experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. So then to finish the introductions, I'm Josh. I'm Steve's athlete. I also run Team JDSC. Steve works out of Performotion up in Brisbane. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steve. The executive director of powerlifting? Co-executive director of powerlifting. There you go. I've got to get it right.
Like official, like head powerlifting coach.
Yeah.
But co-director in the business with Kel.
Yeah, that's right. So Steve put a post up last week around some bench press and some rocky roads that we've gone through. And we're just going to sit and cover this real chill, nothing fancy. It's not like a mass discussion. And one of the first questions was what actually caused the rocky road. I think I'll jump in it. Idiocy is probably the right way to put this from me. Pushing and pushing and pushing without giving any leeway to give the body chance to recover, and almost hunting numbers in an effort to be competitive, to be hyper competitive in something that, with this weight class currently in Australia with the 105s, is becoming more and more competitive, and the distance feels like it continues to get larger and larger. So hunting those numbers in order to be competitive is probably what's mostly caused this rocky road.
Yeah,
which we've come out of now for sure.
I think even basis off that, like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No,
I love looking like people that are motivated and they're externally motivated, and they're pushing because they're chasing, because it's like like when you're at the top you can only look backwards, right? And we see all these people that they come out of nowhere, and it's because they've been doing that. It's just sometimes it's unfortunate of almost that like block to block sort of pushing. It's like you never take your foot off the gas, because it's like, I've got to do more than what I did week one last time, and I've got to do more than what I did week one last time. So you're never giving yourself a break, which is where these kind of issues can arise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great fun. Getting out of the fucking dirt.
Like the camaraderie is brilliant too. Like I noticed that you, Chris, Alex Lucas as well, always consistently tagging each other.
Yeah, there's that good like hyper competitiveness between the three of us as well, and we've all kind of gone down our own little rocky road, I think, with a lot of what's going on, especially Chris. Shout out Chris.
Yeah,
he just seems to blow something every couple of weeks.
That's just, I don't know. Chris likes to grab 60-kilo dumbbells and do a Bulgarian for God knows what.
Yeah, it's kind of half our that's half our fault. I won't lie.
Yeah,
that group chat's very unhinged. I mean, putting the bench up this week, I've already been asked by Alex when is Steve going to start programming pauses into my bench, which creates more battles.
Yeah.
So we'll roll through. So I guess then the next question comes to, what did we have to change? And was it movement and training, or was it more of the mental side of stuff that we had to change?
I guess on my end of thing, and like I touched on earlier, it comes to the mental aspect. I think it's the biggest one. It's like you we hit the issue initially, and something that can be almost fixed quite fast, we delayed that process based on still having the mentality of you were okay.
Yeah.
And it's like you can only live off that for so long until you just keep going back to square one. And then it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And I've been there a lot of times. And, obviously, like I said, it's being able to educate around that based on lived experience, because it can be, and I said this to you just yesterday, I could have taken 2 minutes out of my day and I could have load managed the crap out of you, adjusted tons of movements in terms of ROM and stuff so you couldn't expose that area. But we do want exposure in that area as well. But if I'm going to educate you, I'm going to take the time to also tell you kind of what's happening and how we can get around this without having to modify too much, because that modification takes 2 minutes. The process of educating someone and letting you find out at the same time while telling you. And it's like, I had this conversation with quite a few people almost all the time because my roster is kind of evolving and there's always someone that's got something going on. And I can almost tell you, this is what's going to happen if you don't pull your head in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's, you got to figure that out as well. Because if you don't figure that out, it's one there's the trust that comes with it for next time. And it's also, if you're coaching people, you can then, also have that lived experience to then speak to them in the same kind of way. Because if it's just, I baby you through the whole process, it almost makes it harder for you to learn.
Yeah.
And that is harder and longer on my end than jumping into your program and modifying everything, because that does not take long at all.
No. That's the easy part in perception.
It's the very easy part. That's almost the bare minimum. And we did modify a couple of things because, we had to, but it's also more of it comes down to, the aspects of this is where you're at. This is what we got to do. This is how we're going to get there. It may happen a few more times. You may have a flare up, and you did.
Yeah.
More than a few.
Yeah, more than a few.
But it's I think you see the growth over time with someone when you're doing that as well. Because first one, it's like, oh, damn, we'll get this sorted. And then the second one, it's like, oh, that's frustrating. The third one's like a crash out.
Which happened. Yeah.
But then it almost hits this peak, and then it starts to come down when it starts to happen. You're like, oh, I've been here 3 times before now. It's going to be better. It'll be better in a week.
Yeah.
I have the tools now to be able to do this. And you just get better with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was very much that very much pictured like a bell curve, I would say. Lots of goodness, happiness, hit the peak of this sucks and this keeps flaring up. And now it's like, oh, okay, we just need to chill out in week 1 and not absolutely massacre our body week to week.
It's also your work as well. You've got these shift work and stuff like that. It's being able to understand where your body or what your body's capable of at any given day, because it can't just be like, oh, I have to send this just because the program says so.
Yeah. And I think that was a lot on my half too, of learning, coming into shift work at that time, when around the time it happened, was learning how to balance the shift work fatigue and the training fatigue in order to make sure that it wasn't flaring up again and causing more issues and giving you headaches and myself headaches. Because like I've said to you multiple times, the goal is always to be competitive, but there is a limit to where your brain will let you get to if you're just constantly running into a brick wall with no helmet on.
Yeah. It goes back to that discussion as well. It's like, okay, we're at a point now where this has happened that many times that we haven't actually had that much productive training to be like, this is normal training now. Yeah. It's like, okay, this is that far away from normal training, the loads that you're lifting and stuff like that. We need to actually take a step back and formulate a plan to get back to the week 1, rather than keep thinking we're already there and week 2 is week 2, week 3 is week 3. It's not. We need to formulate a plan to get back to week 1, which means that these weeks that we're sort of working and they're kind of negative weeks, to build towards that. And you find that as soon as that sort of light bulb moment happens with people, it's like, I understand now.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes a lot more sense when you get to that point instead of fighting it constantly.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry,
which then, yeah.
I've got like this. For example, myself, my back popped like it popped 1 week. This was last year. It popped on a Saturday, and the first one, like I couldn't walk. I was like, oh, not sure what this is, and it went, and then I think a week later it went again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
You're
it
like,
wasn't
shit.
that bad last time. Like I was okay. I could get back under the bar 3 days later. And then another week after that, it went, but it wasn't as bad. Each time it got better. But I get to the point where I'm not like, you know, I gotta find a way to work. I just take days off training. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
There's no point in me getting frustrated right now by trying to force this.
Yeah.
I just won't train, and that's happened a couple of times where I just take 2 or 3 days away from the gym and reset.
Yeah, start again. Start the ball rolling again.
Yeah, rather than because I do lift so frequently.
Yeah.
I don't get a break, so I just no.
Yeah, peel back when you can peel back. It was the same conversation I had with a fella in the gym yesterday who's week one. He's like, my adductor's just not having a great time. And I was like, okay, we'll just load, like, don't load as heavy as you would normally in week one. Give it a moment to actually catch its breath.
Yeah.
And you'll probably feel a lot better from it. Now going through all of this, it's something I can point out and go, oh yeah, this is more beneficial if you take that moment and take that breath and recognize that, like, okay, this is my body's way. The pain receptor being like, hey, I need you to stop, or just at least have a breather momentarily. And then you can keep progressing instead of just, running into the wall again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just constant. Yeah. Which then obviously leads us into the funnier question, which Katie asked in the gym the other week, was how did you manage to pull me in line? AKA pull my fucking head in.
Oh man, it's not a simple answer because there's a multitude of factors, right? It's not just like stop doing this, you're dumb, because communication like that just doesn't land well. No. Especially when you're already frustrated because you're sore, and I just blame it all on you because we're going to take ownership as a coach as well.
Yeah.
And I think some of the conversations we had was more like, do you want me to take the wheel, adjust everything, or do we want to go with the route of, all right, let's let things build up, and it's also instilling confidence as well.
Yeah.
It's not just blindly being like, oh man, that sucks. It'll be okay. Because when you're in that moment, you're obviously going to be extremely heightened, extremely frustrated, and I can understand that. And I can empathize with that because I've been there before. Yeah. But I think like instilling the confidence of being like, okay, if you do this and you tick these boxes, you got all these extra things like recovery markers, sleep, hydration, food, and all that. And you tick these boxes, make sure that they're your priority for the time being while we're in this phase. And then, just work towards getting back to that week one. It almost like pulls you out. It gives you something else to focus on if you're not already ticking those boxes consistently and perfectly. Because training's easy. It's the easy part of all of this. You just show up and you do it.
Yeah.
But if you can lose attachment by putting your efforts elsewhere for a little bit, it kind of just like happens in the background. And before you know it, and like what's happened, you get back to where you were.
Yeah. Which is always the goal.
It's always the goal. And now it's at the point where it's like, okay, let's go past where we were.
Yeah.
So it's like finding your way back there.
Yeah. It's almost like just finding a new baseline at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's also like clawing back to it, right? But it's a tricky one because you got to be in the situation to know.
Yes.
It can't just be like, oh, what did I do to pull you out of it? It was more so, what did we do together?
Yeah, we work collaboratively collaboratively. Wow, that's a big word for 8:30 on a Tuesday morning. We worked collaboratively to get through the issues we were having, and that came down mostly to communication, I think. And even like the little things that you would say throughout chats, being like, "You're not made of glass." Some of the things like that are obviously, they seem so minuscule in the moment, but it's something that actually I've ended up writing on bits of my equipment that help you remember when you get to those sore points. You're like, no, I'm not made of glass. This isn't a reason to spiral. There's no reason for this. It's purely this is a new stimulus and a new marker that we have to now find a baseline of.
Yeah, well, that's almost the coming out phase, right? It's like you've had all these issues, and obviously there's going to be some sort of like I guess trauma like attached to those things that have happened in training. You feel the pop, and it's like, oh shit, here we go again. Yeah, but it's not that bad. And it's like once you've got through this phase of like, okay, now we're sort of like building up training. You know, this snowball effect. We're getting things rolling again. You feel something, you mention it, and it's almost like I'm not going to go back to where we were before, because you've also grown as an athlete. So we can take the approach of kind of, right, you're not that fragile.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not made of glass.
Yeah, which I think is great. And probably simple things like that are massively overlooked with coaching. And I think that's what has really benefited me in the last 12 months with it all, is just knowing that, okay, there's a reason for this and it will get better. Yes, it's sore currently, but we can still move past this. We've done things. I mean, we did that entire nationals prep, and I think I complained every session, being like, this, something feels wrong. I remember the message I sent you on the morning of weigh-ins being like, I am fucking terrified. And it's the first competition I've been terrified for. And you're like, no, you're good. We'll get through the day. And then having obviously David and Kelly and whatnot there on the day was super helpful. Like it's so overlooked, just those little statements that can almost not fix an athlete, but push the mindset forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Through any sort of like obstacle like this or big event, it also like it teaches you a lot about someone and what they need from you. It's not just I can blindly give anyone a program and they can adhere to that, but how do I get the best out of you?
Yeah.
Like what do you need from me? And it's like wearing different hats at different times. It's like, okay, I've got to be a leader. I've got to be a motivator here. And now I've got to be more empathetic at times. Now it's got to be like, all right, I've got to, pull the straps and be like, all right, we need to toughen up a bit. You're not that fragile.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's obviously that limit of telling people that, because some people, like you said, will take it really hit and miss. It's very hit and miss. I mean, I have it with a lot of my athletes as well who take it hit and miss. I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to be a dick to you, but you're telling me you're a little bit sore. This is normal. This is a normal part of recovery. You're going to have some soreness. It's going to get better. You just have to keep trying to move the needle slowly without cranking the needle and blowing everything apart again.
Yeah. I think that the big thing with that is like earning the trust of someone to be able to speak like that.
Yeah.
You can't. I've done it before unintentionally. It's been too hard, too fast.
Yeah. That's what makes it human. That's coaching. I guess that's the human aspect of coaching.
100%.
Yeah. And then I guess we'll jump a few because they can kind of work into each other. So one of the questions was, did we ever seek external help? And I'm assuming this was on the basis of like seeing physios, seeing EPs. And I think initially I started seeing Chris a little bit when it first happened, just to try and get some tweaks and fixes. And then Chris hit a limit of being like, no, okay, we need to find some more external help. So I ended up going between two physios for a little bit, which obviously we discussed with you as well, and added a bit of the warm-up stuff that Chris wanted in as well. Seemed to be real beneficial for my body, but went out and saw some extra eggheads because we're only limited to the knowledge we have, and obviously yours is quite extensive with the amount of people you've coached over the years. You can pick up little patterns and you can pick up things that the body does, but having that external set of eyes probably just helped tweak us a little bit. So we went and saw two different physios. Effectus Scott, which I think you've seen before.
No, but I know Scott.
No, you know Scott, yeah. And then Graham, who's a good friend of mine, who's a strongman / athlete physio. And God, the amount of shit that you just go through, like small little things of tweaks and changes that you would think could be beneficial, and then having that communication with you being like, is this actually beneficial, or is it just adding more load and more stress in an area that we don't need, in order to make things stronger? But obviously, you working off the communication I was giving you from them probably made life that little bit better. I would hope.
I think you know, it's as I said before, like wearing all those different hats at times, it can be really hard to try and help someone out of like an injury or pain and manage that with someone while also trying to push them. So I think another set of eyes is always beneficial in that kind of scenario. It's if I start, you know, leaning more towards like my sole focus is getting you healthy, and I'm moving so far away from the performance aspect that the lines get too blurred. And when do I know I've gone too far?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm big on, like, you know, seeking external help with injuries and stuff like that, so it doesn't sort of deter me from my role in the whole thing. Because you know, it is, and I don't even. It's not even too many cooks in the kitchen. It's like enough cooks to get things to be right. Because if I try and just like take control of everything, like I said, I start focusing too much on getting you healthy and not getting you strong while getting healthy at the same time.
Yeah. And I think.
Sorry, you go.
No, you go.
Oh, I think that becomes a detriment to you.
Yeah.
For the athlete.
Yeah. And it's all comes back to that as coaches, we have one set goal, and that's like, what would you call it? The motto of what you do as a coach. So Perform, obviously, it's from your perspective, it's getting people stronger and getting people healthier. Physios, their entire goal is to get people healthier. The goal is not to get drastically stronger from a physio. And I think that's recognizing that too, being able to, like you said, have multiple cooks in the kitchen that actually benefit the restaurant, which the restaurant would be me in this case. Then it's only going to make us better as a team, because we can then communicate and go back and forth, and it builds rapport with everyone around us to then go, okay, this person did have issues. We can now refer out to this person in order to help, because we know this person can help them.
Yeah. Like going back to that, it's not losing sight of what my purpose is as well. And at the end of the day, like, no matter which way I look at it, you employed me to get you stronger.
Yeah.
And it almost is that simple at times. It's like I can assist in like helping you before you need to seek external eyes and get another set of eyes on the way that you're moving, especially in person. Before anything like that. But at the end of the day, you employed me for that sole purpose of getting you stronger. Yeah. And I need to make sure that I'm sticking to that.
Yeah. It keeps us in our scope, as the buzzwords of the year are seeming to be. What do we got? I think we got one more basically, is if it all happened again, what would be the biggest learning point for both of us?
If it happened in this period right now, or if it happened and you were the same person?
Yeah, let's go back 12 months, 24 months. And what would have been the biggest thing that we would take away from that learning point at that time?
Oh.
Yeah.
if you're the same person, run it back 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth saying we would do anything different, because you wouldn't be the person or the athlete that you are if it didn't happen and we didn't take that approach.
Yeah.
If it's like you now, and it happened again, like let's say you go into the train tomorrow and you're like, oh, Steve, guess we be superstitious here and something's happening. Like, what should I do? It'd almost be, we'd be 10 steps ahead of where we were starting from the last time.
Yeah.
But I do think you have to go through that period. It's a period of growth. It's a period of understanding who you are as an athlete, as a person, someone who deals with these kinds of issues. And then you get the experience as a coach as well, because I'm not just talking to you as an athlete, I'm talking to you as a mentor as well when I'm having these conversations. So it's like, okay, we probably wouldn't do anything, because I think that everyone almost needs to go through that period to be able to assist with it again, because there is such a big mental aspect towards pain, injury, and things like that, that a lot of people don't experience, and they'll call themselves coaches. But it's like, there's so many different things that a coach has to do besides just program and technique. It's, man, like, shit. I've got to message people at night, like, go to bed.
Yeah.
And this is the
I
thing.
think I send that like twice a day to so many people at this point.
Yeah, and this is it's like an unspoken thing of coaching. It's like, oh, if your technique analysis is good and you understand how to provide that feedback, and your programming's sound, it's going to make you a good coach. But that's so wrong. That settles from like your friend that's doing your programming and your coaching for you, to someone who's a full-time coach, and the things that they do that are differently.
Yeah.
And I know we're veering a little bit far away from that question right now.
Yeah.
But I think
it's important context to it.
It is important context to it, because that's what you get when you get someone that is a full-time coach that deals with a lot of people. That is the difference. Because at the end of the day, powerlifters are not professional athletes. You don't have a physio with you standby. You don't have a dietitian with you standby. You don't have anything like that. The onus falls solely on the athlete. And as a coach, if I can take some of that away, then I'm going to do that. If I need to tell someone to go to fucking sleep, then I will tell someone to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But if I need to tell someone that they got to push harder, like, there's so many different ways. Like, try harder is not like a valid response.
No.
Got to understand the person that's in front of you. And I learned a lot out of you about you when this issue happened. So going back to that, no, I would not change a thing, because you learn a lot about yourself and I learn a lot about you, how I can get more out of you.
Yeah.
Like, those small things that you said, like it's going to be okay, that you're not made of glass. Like, you take those small little things to heart. You ride with that, like, to death, basically. So it's like, I didn't know that until this happened.
And we wouldn't have learned if this had never happened. This probably never would have come to the forefront of discussion, being like, okay, as an athlete, I probably am a little bit more empathetic in that sense of needing those little, like you say, small nuancy words, nuancy sentences that just help motivate the brain again to get going and go, okay, yeah, no, he's right. I'm not made of glass here. I can get through this. Like,
And
whereas 12 months ago, that may have been a very different ball game, and probably just me sit there crashing out, being like, no, I'm fucking absolutely broken and I'll never get out of this.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember once because I was living in the UK when all this happened, obviously, and I would get everyone's training video as I wake up in the morning, and I remember waking up, and it was like 4 paragraphs, and I remember just replying, wow. I went, wow, like, this is a lot, man. I
fucking remember typing it too. That's so bad.
And I'm like, let me dissect this. And I think the response was like, so it's this, and it was like 4 words, and you're like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You summarized it in 4 words. I was like, oh, yeah, I really went a bit too deep here, right?
Yeah, but it also, like I said, like that in itself, like, if you're sending like a 4-paragraph sort of like thing about feedback on your training and how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Also, I do summarize it in 4 words, but I also clicked in my mind, this is probably more serious than I might be letting on, than I might know, because you were trying to be a bit too tough before that.
Yeah, I was trying to dog my way through it. Yeah.
You can only tough guy yourself so far and for so long until that happens. And it's like, okay, the next time it happens, I can either, we understand and we'll be like, all right, this isn't that bad because I've been here before. I can keep pushing this through. Or, let's take a step back right now so I don't take 4 steps back later on in a week or 2. Like, this is my body letting me know.
Yeah.
Which, man, 100%. Still hard to do.
Yeah. I think it's always going to be hard to do, because you always want to continually keep chasing something, because if you're not, I think again, we're straying away from the question, but that's all right. It's fine. It's important. I think the constant discussion of external motivation is not good is wrong in the context of like, you've got to have something to keep driving for. And if I didn't have that drive to get back on a platform and to keep chasing at some point in life wearing a green and gold jersey, then I probably would have called it quits 12 months ago and been like, this isn't that deep. Powerlifting's not that deep. And like you said, it's not a professional sport. We don't get paid for it. We don't have physios, dietitians, sports psychs on call, ready to go. We just have the you and I communication, maybe the odd physio here. And it's a matter of how can I take all this communication and feedback on board and then apply it without completely crashing out and spiraling and losing all motivation to continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. And I think like having that drive or something to work towards is always going to be beneficial, because you actually just go to the gym. Actually going to the gym for fitness. Yeah. And this is one way of getting that sort of that fitness aspect, and you have a goal to work towards at the same time. Yeah. I think honestly, like, be what it is, like, but powerlifting out of hobby would be so boring.
Oh, 100%. Like,
I like, straight up, like, I'm competitive. I compete. That's what I want to do. I want to be competitive.
Yeah.
If I wanted to lift weights for fun, I would not powerlift.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Probably do high rocks or something.
I would do something else that's probably a little bit quicker and funner.
Yeah.
Because the things that I find fun about powerlifting is competing or being a competitor. So winning is something that I find fun. It's just embedded in my mindset. And outside of that, lifting heavy. So like they go hand in hand.
100%. I mean, and it's cool. It's cool to look strong. I mean, it's beneficial in a lot of ways, but obviously, like the work I do too, it's fun being the nurse they call on and being like, hey, it's a strong guy. Can you come and give us a hand with this? I'm like, yeah, I'm the strong guy. I'll come give you a hand. Like, makes it fun. But like you said, the competitive aspect is, I think it's either ingrained in you or not. And you're probably like me. We played a lot of team sports as kids that you kind of just go, yeah, naturally competitive is a way to look at it, but it's a healthy competitive because, like you said, the sport would be probably quite boring if you weren't trying to be competitive. And it's one of the things that like a lot of amateur coaches seem to talk about is, well, powerlifting's monotonous and boring. Yeah, it is. That's kind of the point.
That's sport.
Point of it is to get strong. Yeah, it's sport in general. Yeah. Yeah, it's not just powerlifting. You play football, you play rugby. Yeah. It's drills and drills.
Yeah, repetitively, consistently, day in, day out. It's just sport. That's just a professional athlete.
Yeah. Ah, sweet. That pretty much wraps up the chat. That was pretty easy. That was a good chat.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's really good to get insight, and people probably really benefit from the insight in seeing someone who's done this for so long. Because how long have you coached now?
Oh man, I probably started coaching like a decade ago.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and like you've got that. I got 8 years on me here, and it's 7 years now. And it's good to hear probably coaches talk about how we still make the mistakes. It's only human to make the errors, and the people who are fresh faced to it probably thinking, yeah, okay, I can make these errors. I'm only going to learn from it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I think you like a lot of coach athletes will learn a lot from being an athlete. And I think like I've had people say this to me, like someone, a week ago said to me, like they wanted to work with me because of who I am as an athlete and my mindset towards that and the way that I sort of like my work ethic. And, I embody that and I sort of push myself to be a leader for everyone that's underneath me. Like I will consistently keep showing up because I know that drives the people that I work with. And I do know there's like a direct correlation between, my training going well and then everyone else is going well. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why? I'm not programming any differently. My training's picking up steam.
Fuck yeah, it is. Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's just like that sort of like makes me sort of want to do better and, you know, perform as a leader consistently.
Mm.
But going back to that, they said to me, you know, I didn't pick you because, you know, you're programming, you know, technical analysis and all of those kinds of things. They're an afterthought.
Yeah.
Mindset and the way that I am as an athlete was the forethought, was the reason why, because they know that, you know, I would never ask someone to do something that I wouldn't do. And I think that's one of the things I said to you through this period as well. Like, I'm not asking you to do something I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah.
And I truly mean that every time I say that.
Yeah, 100%. It's 100. Well, like you say, it's half the reason I came to you all those years ago about getting coaching, because I felt that it was a complete rut of, it was something I was missing. Anyone can program. And like you say, anyone can program.
Now.
You make the programs at the gym, especially now with technology and the amount of knowledge everywhere.
Yeah,
like
so much.
Anyone can do it. Yeah. It's that, like you say, it's that leading from the front. Leading from the front is one of the big things that coaches seem to lose. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be, you know, world stage every year. You just have to be damn good at what you do and have proof in the pudding.
Yeah. I think a big thing too, like being able to instill belief in someone when they don't believe it themselves is a big one.
Yeah.
Which is, I that's like another sort of layer around like what coaching is around those kinds of things. Like, if I believe in you, there's no reason you shouldn't believe in yourself.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. All right. Mad. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. That was fucking great fun. That was great fun.